So first off, I guess I can introduce myself. My name is Laretha. I have a business called Tranquility for You. Tranquility for You, and I know you guys. Can you see me, Angie? Let me come back here. I'm gone. I'm out the way. You still see me?
Yes.
TQ for You. Tranquility for You. That's what that stands for. Uh, I started that Tranquility for You years ago. I went to school for massage therapy, and I always felt like we all need to feel tranquil and at peace. And, I have a thing about getting massages and being relaxed and just centering oneself to look for peace and find a way because
Hmm.
I had so much stress growing up. You see all this gray hair on my head. Now, I won't equate that with that, but I was gray as a young girl. So, tranquility, I hadn't gotten into it as deep throughout the years because with moving, I live in Texas now. I used to live in Chicago. Woo woo, Chi-Town. That's my hometown. But anyway, just to give you a little background. And so I always had the empathy for people and wanting us to love on each other more. I
Yes.
went through some things in life and still processing things in my life. I just want to be in purpose. So I think in order to do that, you have to find a place for you to take care of you, to love you, to get peace. And so I've always been about that. And if that means shutting down the phones, not talking, and going to the Father God, whichever supreme being, whatever you choose to find your peace, seek those things. And so I believe in that. And here I
Hmm.
am today. I'm going to just get back into that because it's been near and dear to myself. But sometimes life take you away from a lot of things with, giving your gifts and talents and sharing with others because you're so wrapped up into your day-to-day life and your day-to-day things and you're trying to grasp for straws and pull yourself together. So I'm here today to share with this is my cousin and just to share with her on her journey just as well as she's sharing with me on mine. And I'm grateful to be here. I'm going to work on my site. I'm doing some things to build up tranquility for you because at this time we had COVID. People need to know to find themselves. That's how I feel. We need to really find ourselves, love on ourselves, and free our minds. By all means necessary, it's time to take stock of what it is that we want to do to be happy, what it is we want to find the peace. How do we get to our peace? So I'm here to help you with that because I'm on that journey myself. That's it.
Amen.
My
Amen.
cousin Angie, yeah. And, we all got a job to do. We all have a role to play in this life.
That is right. That is right. And so I am Life Begins Today. And I started this channel. Also, it's also Facebook and Instagram because
Ooh, my light, y'all. I didn't knock it over. Sorry, cuz go ahead.
that's okay. No, because I felt more and more of a need to have a greater a greater community of women who are maybe dealing with the same issues or similar issues that I'm dealing with, getting older, going to a different phase of life, and what that entails, what it means, and really wanting to be able to encourage and inspire other women that life begins not at age 20 or age 30, but life begins whatever age you are. And too many times, too many women just kind of decide that they don't want to do certain things anymore because they can't. Not so much they don't have a desire, but they don't feel like they're supported. They don't feel like they're
That's true.
validated. They feel like the time frame for them to do certain things has passed them, so they don't think about it anymore. I often think about that Langston Hughes poem, what happens to a dream deferred? And we defer so many of our dreams for whatever reason, for good reasons, some reasons that aren't so good, some reasons that are very noble, and we think that that is all that we are. But
We
then what happens when we get to an age and we're like, oh, okay, there's still things that you could do, and you need other people who understand that and who are willing and able to support you in doing those things. And
Mhm.
a lot of times it's not the people that live with you,
That's
because they want to keep you
in the same place,
in the same place,
in a box.
helping them,
Hmm.
right in the box, making sure that their needs are met while your needs go
Unmet.
wanting.
Yeah. Hmm.
So this is what Life Begins Today is about: helping women to transform their lives into turning it into something, or turning them into something that they really, really, really can be proud of. Not to say that you're not proud of your life, not to say that your
That's
life
right.
isn't a good life and you're not happy, but there's something else that you want to do, something maybe that you don't even understand yet that you want to do. It could be just just a crumb of an idea, and so we're here to help you get from point A to point Z.
Hmm.
So this is why we're here, and so we really are trying to start the YouTube channel. It is
Yay, we
crazy.
gotta
I
get
don't know
going. We
if the
gotta
rest of you mugs who started did this, but it is what it is, and
yeah.
so we just want to have fun, and we'll get better. We definitely better, but we want you to like, share, and subscribe to Tranquility for the number four, you, the letter U, and as well as Life Begins Today 1365.
Yes.
And so there, as time goes on, other people will be coming in, but our
Yeah.
format will be, we will have just topics of discussion. And so for today, there's a series of questions that we'll go over. We will meet every Tuesday weekly at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 7 o'clock Central Time, for an hour. Or if people want to stay longer, I'm good. Where I am, it's midnight, so I'm all right. I'll be up, but we promise an hour so that people can get out and do whatever else they have to do in the evening. So let's go ahead and get
I'm sorry. I
started.
had
I'm going to try and share.
this. Okay.
Okay, share screen, and let's see. Okay. Okay. So we are calling these these weekly chats life lessons. Oh shoot, I gotta find a better way.
To clear that off.
I don't want you to steal all the headache. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right.
So
I
wait, let's
mean,
see.
until you can and work through that.
Yep. So okay. So life lessons. And so the first question is, how do you feel?
How do,
Whatever that question means to you, how do you feel today?
how do I feel?
Uh-huh. Yep.
No, I'm just saying, how do I feel at this point today? Being of the age that I am, I feel that, it's like I'm thinking so much more about retirement. I'm thinking that how do I find my place here, and being happy because we all age, and as long as you live, you wake up every day, you're aging, you're getting older. You know what I mean? And I'm not stuck on an age per
Right.
se, because sometimes I don't even feel feel that, but it's just a knowing that, yeah, okay, this too brings about a change. And so where you go for from here. So I feel that I'm going forward, and there are some things that I have to mostly pay attention to right now in my life, and that is my health, that is
Mm-hmm.
my family in love, me caring about what matters. So I'm feeling good about what the future holds for me because I'm focused on what's most important right now in my life.
Okay.
If
If
I
I
mean, if that's how do you feel? I feel that there's things I have to do, and now is the time to just to more or less to finalize, not to say it's the end, but get to a place where I can free myself, where I can feel like, okay, and I'm all about that peace. I'm all about that love and happiness. Life brings its own woes and foes and all of that stuff that we have to deal with, life circumstances, but you want to get in that space. And so I feel like I'm working towards those goals. Some things has transpired and I just keep moving.
mm-hmm.
But I had to follow a mindset for me, Angie.
And that's so hard because we talk about mindset. That's one of the buzzwords that's been around for quite a while, and we talk about having the right mindset, and it can be so difficult.
Hmm.
You think you have the right mindset, you think you're doing all of the right things, you kind of doing things in order, supposedly, and you kind of have your focus on what you're doing, and sometimes you miss the boat. Like for me, how do I feel? I feel like I have just done everything wrong
Yeah.
because
Okay.
I'm not where I thought I should be.
Hmm.
But then at the same time, I'm like, there were things that I was doing that was right, but I guess I didn't have a plan. It's really true that you have to have a plan, even though you may think you have a plan, but it's like you need a long-term vision. You need a vision, not just a plan. You need a
Yeah.
vision.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure I had a vision outside of what I thought like would look like, and that it would just kind of fall into place
Yes.
because I was quote unquote doing the right things, doing what I was supposed to do, and things would just fall in place. And I believe a lot of that has to do with how we are taught, especially with in our families and with religion, because you're taught to do the right thing,
Yes.
but you're not necessarily taught what to do when things don't turn out right. If I don't
Hmm.
know if I'm making
Hmm.
myself clear.
Well, I get what
Um,
you're saying. If I could just say interject there,
uh-huh.
um, you saying that you feel that because we weren't taught, the problems, it's like problem solving or whatever. But I do
Mm-hmm.
believe the things that we went through, it was all to mold us and to get us
Yeah.
to a point where we can see for ourselves. Because a lot of times, I think our ancestors and older people, they didn't have a clue either. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know. They still trying to figure it out. Sometimes I had a conversation with somebody, I said,
Right.
we be in survival mode. Everybody just
Yes.
maintain,
Yes.
they
Yes.
want to pay
Yes.
the
Yes.
rent, they want to make their bills, their mortgage, blah, blah, blah. You got to go to work, and there's things you got to do, and you want your family to be happy. You get the kids what they want. You just living day to day because that's what we were told to get a job, go to college, do this, do that. It's this hustle and bustle. And so with that,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying to you, and because of things, I feel things be divinely orchestrated, Angie. I'm gonna say that. You went through what you went through. I went through what I went through, but it taught me lessons. It had me to see whether it was right or it was wrong because I made a wrong decision and I didn't know any better. But because I want better
Mm-hmm.
and I see it for what it is and it goes back to you starting today. We
Yes.
have just today. We don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring us. You know what I mean?
Right.
So how do
You're
you
right.
feel? Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, we have these feelings and these emotions, and we want to be better. We want to think we should be further along because I feel like I should be retired. I feel like, yeah, all of that. But then I have to hone myself in and say, for such a time as this,
Mm-hmm.
here for today.
Yep.
I'm here right now. And I've
And
been
so,
through some things, and I try to get in and, not to say that, but who hasn't?
mm-hmm.
And what are we doing about it? And that's where I'm at. So with you saying that, I get all of that. What our parents and said, no, they didn't know. They gave the best. And we had a decent life growing up.
Absolutely.
And some of us have not. Not to say that that's something, but we didn't have the finest things or like we were wealthy or rich, but we had the main thing, and that was love. We had respect. We respected our elders, and that's another thing. What's going on now? The respect has been lost with the younger generation,
Yes.
and then people don't have any patience anymore, and they going through what they going through. But sometimes you got to stop and take a deep breath and kind of collect yourself and see why I'm going through what I'm going through,
Right.
or why, what do I need to do to change this? So it's a self-check thing for me. Check
Okay.
yourself.
Yep.
That's all.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
So I guess I do.
I just
We
invited
we both
somebody
feel we
on.
feel
I'm
hopeful.
sorry, but yeah, we have to. That's the thing. The hope. If we don't have hope, we have nothing. Keep hope
Yes.
alive. I'm from Chicago. Jesse Jackson.
I
That was his
know.
thing.
Right.
Keep hope alive. I just invited somebody in too, so hopefully they'll come on.
Okay. Yep. Let's
And
hope.
I just gave him your site. Yeah, so let's keep hope
Okay.
alive.
Okay.
And so we're starting this out, and it's something new for us both. But I want to do this thing. And for
Mm-hmm.
those who come in, and if you hear this at a later date, keep coming. Look for us. You're
Absolutely.
in for a treat. You're in for a treat. And it's just all
Absolutely.
about the healing and understanding and growing and developing and becoming true to thyself. Understanding who you are and working through these things with us, because we don't know, we don't have all the answers, but we can figure it all out together and motivate each other and
Mm-hmm.
encourage each other
Mm-hmm.
and show, at least, give a kind
Yep.
word, give a word, because we need that now. Hmm.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so the next one, let's see here. I'm enjoying
So
this.
the next one
This might be all right.
is
What's the next
okay.
question? What are we talking
Uh-huh.
about, Ed? And you all the way in
Okay.
Africa. Where are
So
you
to
at? In the
piggyback
Gambia?
to piggyback
God,
it, girl, in the
Gambia?
Gambia, uh-huh.
The Gambia.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So to piggyback off that, how you feel? Are you living the life you want? We've kind of touched on it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, because I didn't even get to all those questions to look at them. You gave me a heads up, but the question is on the board. I see here. Are
Mm-hmm.
you living the life you want? The life I want, I'll
Mm-hmm.
say no, not fully the way I want to live. Yes, I have peace here. I'm home. I live alone. The life I want to be free of a whole lot of unnecessary, just the bills,
Mm-hmm.
get those off of me. So no, I'm not right now, not there, but I'll be there, and I will have the life I want. I'll speak those things as though they are. I
Right.
am living the life I want. So yeah, but at the same time, I have to work towards that. So right now, not fully.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being honest with myself, and that's all I need to be, is transparent and honest with me.
That's right. That's
Yes,
right.
ma'am. Yes.
And so I don't think I'm living the life that I want. I'm living the life that I have created. And part of that, as you said, is living in an African country,
Uh-huh.
and there is a lot of tranquility and peace living here.
That's
The
good.
crime is so much less here, even though there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, um, but you don't have to live with the day to day violent culture
Yes, all right.
that we live with in the US. And so that is, that's wonderful. That's one of these knuckleheads. Oh,
No, it might be my friend.
uh,
Oh, that's me. No, I'm sorry. He
and
asked me why. Is that you? Why are you just couldn't? Oh, that's
you
me.
send it.
Responded. I thought that was him. I was getting excited. Thought he's gonna come in and we had a guest. Okay, that's me responding to
Okay.
my own. Goodness grief! I'm excited about this
Okay.
thing.
Yeah. So I'm living the life that I have created, but I've been single all my life. I've never been married, and so it would be lovely to share this with someone who knew that I would be this age single. But it is what it is.
Hey.
But there are things that I think would be so much better if my financial situation at this point was better. Well, I don't even have to think about it. I know that that would be the case. But as far as living the life that I want in terms of being blessed and being healthy, no doubt I am. It is, I am living that life. And I can say that life moves a little bit better, a little bit easier here
Mm-hmm.
than at home, although I do miss some stuff, of course.
Yes, I'm sure. So someone is asking me. I'm sorry to cut you off. About
Hmm.
is it? It's the life begins today, right? On YouTube, 365. Am I correct?
1365,
What
1365.
did I say? Yeah, 1365. I do have that. I do have that.
Okay.
So he's trying to get in. It's a gentleman that I haven't seen in years, and he's went to high school, and he just ran into some people that we know, and just actually became our friend on Facebook.
Okay.
So we can continue. Let us see here.
And so, are you living the life you want? Then the next question is, what do you really want? And what do you really want to do? And that can be anything. I don't want to work for anybody else anymore. I like consulting, and I like the time to be creative and to do nothing. A lot of times,
Mm-hmm. I get it.
but I want to make money.
Yes.
I want
Me.
I want to make money,
Yeah.
and I'm not at the point where some other people have been when they decide that they want to retire. They're content with making with what they have,
Right.
downsizing and all of that.
Right.
I don't have enough money to be content.
Yeah.
um, and so I'm not content with my financial situation in any shape or form. That is probably the worst it's been in a long time.
Yes. Yes.
But so what I really want to do, I really, again, I would like to continue with the consulting. I'd like to learn more. Um, I'd love to do the traveling.
Yes.
What I really want to do is for women, especially older women in particular, around the world. That's what I really want to do.
And you can do that, and that's good. So that's the first thing.
Hmm.
You you just got to define that thing for you. That's it. So and it's just like work towards that. As far as I'm concerned, what do I really want to do? Yes, I want to retire at an early age, and not to say when I say retire, that don't mean I'm not going to work. I'm not going to do anything. I want to continue to
Hmm.
work on my business and build that up, and just serve and be in my
Right.
purpose as I continue to walk, Nick. You know what I mean? So I want my family. I think about my family. I want them to be all right. The kids, the young ones that I help raise, that's under me to uh, be happy and know the truth about things and know how to maneuver through
Right.
this world. Things are forever changing. And so I like to keep them under my wing and just keep them close to me, just to give them words of wisdom, Angie. So what I
Absolutely.
want to do is be able to be a beacon of light.
Okay. A
But
beacon of light.
financially, yes, I want to be able to be a beacon of light. And for those who, are just near and dear and just around me, if I can give them a word and continue to live my life and be happy, you know, and no, I'm not married, I'm single, I've been through all of that. And when it's time, if that is the will, because I can't settle and I have to stay focused on what it is that I want, and how collectively, if there is to be a relationship, but that's not the main thing for me. Life is so much bigger. And when you go on places and doing things, that person or whomever you're to encounter, they want the same things. You know what I mean? And so they're about that. And so
Mm-hmm.
what I want, I do. I want to continue to be happy, peaceful. I need finances. Yes, I need to get paid. I need to take care of my bills. I need to live a little. So I work those things and just ask the Lord to continue to enrich me, and empower me to continue to keep my right mind and my health and my strength. So those are things I'm kind of simple as I'm continuing to get older here. I mean, I'm real simple. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, but
Yep.
financially and me paying, I don't need a whole lot. I had it. I had some things and I could have some more, but those things for me are not as important now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I get it. I done cleaned out and still need to finish cleaning and giving away some stuff. When my mom passed in 2013 and my grandmother, they had so much stuff, and it just blew me. And I'm like the
Mm-hmm.
only girl, and I kind of was stuck with a lot. I got a lot of males in my family. So I was kind of stuck with a lot of stuff. And I'm like, I got to deal with all of this. How y'all do me like this? Me going through it, I'm getting emotional because I am emotional. I can be so strong on the exterior, but really, I'm a very emotional person when it comes to things.
Right.
So they left me with a lot of stuff to handle. I did it by the grace of God. I did it by the strength just He gave me to wake up each day to deal with it. But it kind of hurt me, and I'm saying, why are we holding on to stuff? We gotta release
Yeah,
it,
and
give
that's
it
the
away,
time
give it to
you have to
somebody. It
release it.
means nothing. You do endure for the time, but it's just sit. Like I got stuff sitting right now in my garage. But I clean through some of those things. I still need to decompose and do all of that. But some
Mm-hmm.
people need it. So I really want to live a simple life. I want to be happy. I just want to be simple. I don't want nothing complicated. As far as my job and all of that, yes, I want to work for myself and I want to help take care of myself and be able to have the strength to do it, and to help somebody else. That's where
Right.
I'm at.
Right. Right. Right.
You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's important to recognize that you have to help you have to help somebody else. You don't want your living, to
To
be
be
in vain.
that job.
You,
I
you just
get
don't
it.
want to be here, and I think part of my thing has been being so focused on me,
Yeah.
because there was nobody else, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and so sometimes you forget, it's not about you. You are not the center of the universe, and it's not done like with selfish intent. But like you said, when you're about, paying your bills and putting one foot in front of the other, a lot of times you don't give a thought to other people. But again, well, when you are part of a church, it helps because you are able to do certain things. And I guess also because my working life for the most part has been helping other people. That was part of, I did that every day, all day,
Right.
helping
Look,
other people.
I
So
get it. And it sometimes it comes to a point that it has to be about you because you giving
yeah,
from an empty well. You got to be
yeah,
filled up, an empty cup, as they say, right?
right,
So
right, right,
I have to
right.
fill my cup. And a lot of times, Angie, I get it. I've done all of that. I filled everybody
Mm-hmm.
else up. I had to let a lot of things go, people, places, and things. You hear me? And because it to find me, because it's got exhausting. After my
Mm-hmm.
mom them passed and everything, I left Chicago and came to Texas. And I said, you know what?
Right.
It's got to be about me. And I used to say that not knowing you saying things like, you're not to be selfish. They say I'm selfish because I'm an only child. I was only, no, but I always shared. I didn't have that, but some things
Absolutely.
have to be for me. And I have to find out who am I and where am I going. So at 56 years of age, yeah, it is. And I don't mind sharing. And no one
Hmm.
can have me to be guilty because people put a guilt trip on you. You hear what I'm saying? They want you to feel
Yes.
like, oh no, you should do this for me and you should do. No, I've done
Oh, no,
enough.
no.
You've done enough. And it's now is your time. And that's where I'm at. It's my time. As long as I got breath in my body, I'm waking up to see the sun. I got to do me. I got to focus on me. And anything that spreads out and overflows, yes, I can share. I can give you
That's
that
right.
wisdom if it's a word. It ain't always about money. You give a little time, you
Yep.
give a little word, but it has to be in balance. Things have to balance out for me. Then that's just where I'm at because I would take, 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 take. People take, take, take. And you give, 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 give. You have nothing for yourself. And I'm like, you know what?
Mm-mm.
No, I don't even know where I'm
It
going. I
can't
don't
be
even
like
know who
that. Mm-mm.
I had those moments where you in the wilderness trying to figure out. It may not appear to be, but inside, it starts from the inside. So yeah, I want to do what I want to do. I want to be happy, like I said. In my family, it's so much going on in the world. We live in the times of people are just suffering and they're hurting. They don't have the
Yeah.
answers. And sometimes I do with the churches. I get disappointed because I'm saying we as a black race. Now I love my
Yeah.
people, and sometimes I don't. I like people and I don't like people. That's whether white, black, blue, or green, whatever color. Because if you're hard to me and you're coming from a place of evilness and you're not coming from a place to help,
That's right.
because you're hurting people hurt people, but you got to find out why. Work on yourself. If I
Right. And
that's my girl, what's her name? Tabitha Brown. She
oh, I
always
was listening to her
great. I
today.
love
Hmm.
her. Yes, I love her. That young lady is awesome. And she puts it out there. You need to mind your own business and stay out of. Don't go messing nobody else's up. If you can't
Right.
help nobody, then leave them alone.
But so
We
many
collect.
people don't understand that.
Yeah, we
That
have to
simple
come
concept.
together. These programs, we want the white man, or we want the government, or we want people to do this, that, and the other for us. But what are we doing for ourselves? And these parents need to be accountable. I look at things, I see things on the news, some kids up in Chicago. I see a lot. Because a lot of times I do. I
Hmm.
meditate and I pray and I listen and I see, and I'm like, why? Them kids went downtown and destroyed the city and jumping on cars and doing just like wild animals. I don't know if you saw that, but it was very disheartening for me. And
Was
I'm
that recently?
yes, where are their parents at? And why would you want it? What's wrong? Why are you so angry? What are they gonna do? Find a place for these kids to go, something to do. Start them over. We got to start young. And it may not be no hope. And this is why people want to carry their guns. It's just like a retaliation. We're gonna kill each other up.
Hmm. Absolutely.
And some parents want to be their
And
kids'
it's
friends.
like
No,
that
where's
all over the
the
world.
respect? Where's the respect? Some of these kids, they want to, be their kid. The parents want to be the kids' friends. And you can't always do that. That is supposed to be some rules and some guidelines. Then you branch off,
Hmm.
you give them the best that you can give them. If you don't have that, seek the help. Girl, I go on in a tangent and keep going. And then you got to put God first. You need to find your center, find out who is it that you can call out on. And I believe that to this day. Every knee shall bow. Every knee shall bow.
Hmm.
And confess. I don't care what nobody say, because one day you're gonna get there to your rock bottom and you will need to bow.
And those people do.
Yeah.
Time and time again, there have been stories of people who say they don't believe, but when they get into a tight, where a life or death situation, first name they call on is Jesus. But
I'm going to
you
my
know,
friend. I know somebody is on here. I'm sorry, and they just hit me. And I would like for him to come on. You want to come on in if you're watching? There's a gentleman here I went to school with.
Is he on? Because I don't see him in
I
the
don't
room.
see anybody.
Oh, but it does. Okay, wait. It does say three. Okay, if you're in, say hi. Put it in the chat. Hello. Let me see if I can. We're still trying to figure this out,
Yeah,
and
that's the
so
truth.
forgive us. Forgive us. See.
You know, and he said when they legalized marijuana, so these
Because
drugs,
it
he
does.
was mentioning that. And that's why I'm telling him to come on. And I get that. Lord knows I used to smoke big weed.
Mhm.
I'm not ashamed. I cannot be ashamed. And where did I get it from? For I was
Uh-huh.
around it. But when I say I big weed, I had friends that
Right.
sold it. So I would put here and there, but it was around me all my life. You hear what I'm saying? And so,
Mm-hmm.
yes, but that stuff they giving out now, what they doing, it stinks. It gets on my nerves. I don't care for it. And it's like you don't know what they putting in. A lot of us leaving here, these kids, they putting fentanyl. I have people who have passed from that I know of. You hear what I'm saying? You want to try this, you want to
Yep.
do this, and we
Yep.
all have vices. Tell the truth. We do have vices, but we got to work through those things. I don't want to kill myself. I don't want to continue to harm myself. Hell, I smoke cigarettes, not knowing why this is
Mm-hmm.
cool to do, or I'm doing something, and you get addicted. So now you got to come back up out of something. You got to bring yourself back to a thing and see why. Because we striving, we struggling, we doing what other people do. We just want to do something, and then you get addicted. But sometimes you got to step outside of yourself and look at you and say, "Is that really what you want to do? Is that something? Is this
And it's not
helping me?
really.
Yeah.
It's not.
Is this
It's not who you
helping
want to be.
where you want to be?" And so they doing this and they putting stuff, they take the pills, they do this and do all of that recreation. Find a natural high. I mean, but do things in moderation. I just
Absolutely.
do things, find you a natural high. If you a comedian, find something that's you're gonna laugh about or get
If
with
we.
people that enjoy you and find another way to be happy. Like me, you see, I got a glass of wine. I haven't had wine in months. But today I decided I want a glass of wine. But I'm not overly drinking. I don't want to be drunk. That's a horrible feeling. I've been there before too. I don't have no shame in my game. It's just not for you. Once something bothers you and it gets you sick and it takes you out of your wheel and out of your way, and it's not you deep down
Mm-hmm.
inside, you need to think about that thing. You need to change it up. So, yeah, what you really want to do, what you really want to do, you ask yourself that question. You got to know what you want. You got to make it plain. Like you say, you write the vision and make it plain. Don't the words say that? Write the vision, make it
Mm-hmm.
plain.
And make it
Yeah.
plain. So what do you?
So
So we've talked about a lot of different things. So what are you really focused on? Because I know you're looking for other jobs, but you don't want to work for anybody yourself either.
no, no. I actually, in actuality, no. But I think about my health and insurance. When you've been conditioned, I'm gonna say that. That goes back to our parenting. Get a job. You got to work.
Yep.
You need insurance. Go to college. You're going to do something. You hear what I'm saying? So you stuck with that. Hell, I've been working since I was 16. Come on, Angie. I've always had my own money and give it up to God. Grace be to God. I was able to sustain myself. I didn't want to be a burden to my parents, my family. I always wanted to provide and help them because they raised
Right.
me. I like nice things. I come from that. I always wanted to go out and go to the movies. I come from that. Go out
Mm-hmm.
to dinner. I come from that. So I'm used to living a certain kind of way. And so sometimes I have to hone that in and come back because my mother was very extravagant. She wanted to, whatever she wants, she gonna get.
You
And
know,
I
I
have to check
know.
because I got a lot of ways like that. She gonna eat, she gonna buy, she gonna dress, she gonna do. But a lot of those things, as I continue to get older, and I'm seeing that, I got that. I had
Mm-hmm.
that. I can get it. That was the price. If that's what's really happening for me. But no, I do want to work myself for myself, and I want to help others. And I'm doing that slowly but surely, getting back into it. I'm
Okay.
licensed in hair. I went to school for massage therapy. All I need to do is just get my license. And so I haven't fully
Mm-hmm.
licensed. Like I say, life circumstances bring you, but some things just in you. When you know that what's in you, when you get to that point, that's when you need
Yes.
to go searching and start working towards what's in you. What's your God-given talent and purpose? And then you
Yes.
go from there. So I do
You're
know
right.
I have something to give, something more. And so I'm working towards, I'm in that place today. It's always been in me. I'm asking it
You
to
just
be
have to work
manifest.
toward it.
But yeah, I just
That's
got to
right.
work
That
towards
is
it.
right.
I have bills and I'm paying and I'm doing this. So I'm maneuvering and he's doing it. It ain't just me, the Father God. He's maneuvering and making the way. You let me see out of the mistakes that I have made, out of decisions that I have made for myself. Oh, I thought this is wrong. Why did you do this? And you have naysayers in the background. Oh, a hard head make a soft butt. Ain't nobody helping me. I thank you, but your opinion you can keep to yourself. Because really, look at your life. If you don't have nothing good to say, I'm going back to that. If you have nothing good to say nothing. But it's okay. I needed you to hit me
That's
in my
right.
face. I need those wounds and those whips. That's just like being whipped. Well, you did this. Why did you do
Mm-hmm.
it after all this time? And you had, because at that time, that's where I was at. And that's what I was feeling. I'm tired of working like a dog. No respect and they reward bad behavior. Or they say you got to have this degree and have this and have that, and you doing the job. The devil is a liar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Excuse me, I do it, but that's man. And so we got to remember, and it just continue to push you further and further to what you're called to do. I believe that. I
Definitely.
believe that. Uh-huh.
Definitely. Okay. So, how does fear affect your life?
How does fear affect my life?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it cripples me where I don't want to do nothing. Or I just
I was
feel
gonna
you
say.
get that negative talk. You know what I mean? You start negative
Mm-hmm.
talking, and then that's why you have to really listen. And certain people, you can't listen to everybody because the things start flooding you. If you don't speak life unto yourself, that's when the fear continues to come and you don't want to do anything. You can get down, anxiety can kick in, you can get depressed. And so it can just have you stagnant. But
That's
then I
right.
always say, you know what I mean? I had to snap myself out of it, like, you know what, get up. And I thank the Lord too. And I have to say that. I have to always give him praise because it's like if you don't recognize and acknowledge and see for yourself, you will stay there. You got to get
Yeah.
up. You breathing. You can change this. If you got your health and strength, baby, you in your right mind, you can make a
You can
difference.
change it.
You can change it.
You can change it. Yep.
And so fear will
Fear,
have you
fear.
stagnant. It'll have you thinking all this other negative stuff, and you can't be around listening to negative things. You have to change that mind,
Mm-mm.
and that's true. It's a change mindset.
Yep. Fear will keep you stuck. And it
Mm-hmm.
will tell you all
Mm-hmm.
of the wrong things. It's a tool of the enemy, and it comes in so many different ways, but it will just keep you in the same place. And what happens? A long time ago, I heard a speaker say that you're going to be whatever age you're going to be. So say you're 18
Uh-huh.
and you're thinking,
Sorry,
okay,
cuz I'm sorry to cut you off. I got some people. Can you? I don't know. He said he want to come in and show him how to get in. Can you invite somebody in, or where you at? I'm not sure. You have control,
yes.
and
So is he in the
he's on
is
YouTube.
he in your
He's on your
Facebook? He's in
YouTube.
your Facebook chat,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, he is.
Send him that link that I
Send him
sent to
the
you.
link. Okay.
Uh-huh. And he can get in. Because if he came to the Facebook page, we should still see him. He comes to Life Begins Today 1365,
Yeah.
and then he'll click on the live, and we should see him, but I don't see him in the participants. But if you send him the link that I sent you and tell him to click on it, just like you eventually were able to
Right.
come in
Uh-huh.
when you clicked on the link, he'll be able to actually come in as a
He's
guest, and you
telling
can
me
see his face,
Cecilia
not
is
his
in
chat.
here. Are you in here, Cecilia? Hey, Nathan. Say hi. Please say something to me. uh Come in. Let me tell them to come in. It'll be good to see. Come on in. Come on
Yeah, because I don't see anybody.
on in. I don't know, Angie. I don't know. He was saying the same thing. Why we just didn't go to YouTube? Why you just didn't you do YouTube? I said, I don't know, because you out the country. So I don't know, but we're trying to figure it all out. Next time I might have to just try to do it, both ways,
Y'all get off me, right?
What?
But
It's
I
all it's a
researched.
learning curve.
I pulled it up. I researched, and this is
Even
what they
with
said to do.
YouTube, you know how you have your own, you
Yep,
got your own YouTube channel. Um,
I have my own YouTube channel,
that's what I'm saying. So I don't know why you
and it
just
said I
didn't go
needed a
live.
streaming. It said I needed a streaming service.
Oh yeah, and so yeah, I have seen people do it in order to add other people. Let me
Mm-hmm.
see. He got something. He funny. So let me see. I see. What is this here? You don't see nobody
Tell
else?
them to type something. Type their name, because you see the chat where I've been typing,
We're on
but
YouTube.
that's all I see. Yeah, I've been typing it on my phone, and you see it comes up. You can't see it.
Girl, wait a minute. Let me go check. No, Andy, it's not coming in your chat. I don't see it on YouTube.
Hmm.
Let me see some. No, ma'am. I don't see it. Did you
Okay,
saw, did you,
I just.
did you see what I typed in there?
Mm-mm. What'd you
Oh,
type?
weird. I had typed something earlier. Why is making me do this? It's making me sign in. I was in there already. I think that's when I came through here. Jesus.
So if they don't, if they the picture, if they don't see the questions, they're not in the right room.
Somebody like this. I'm gonna like it, but I gotta sign in. I was in there on your YouTube. Anywho, um, going forward, let's go on. If he comes on, he can come on. I don't know why this screen look like it's just stuck. It's doing its own thing. It's like I'm stuck with my mouth wide open, baby.
Really?
Yes, girl.
Well, I can't see. It doesn't look like it's stuck to me.
Yeah, I'm just saying. When I don't know. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna find another way to sign on here. Can you give me a minute too? I need to go to the restroom, child. And let's see if somebody else come on. Give me 1 second. But yeah, I'm gonna pull this
Okay.
up on my own page and see how that work. Let's see.
Yeah, because that's what I did.
Uh-huh.
I went to this page from another YouTube account that I have.
Mm-hmm. Baby, it's all a learning curve. You never know until you try something. You know what I mean? And it's all
Hmm.
good. Because we're gonna get through this. And some things you just gotta learn on your own. You have to figure it out. Let me see if this come up. Okay. But it is a delay. It's a delay.
Mhm. Has made me miss opportunities because I
Yeah.
didn't think
Yeah.
I was good enough, or because I felt like I felt like it wasn't the right time.
Yeah.
Not because it wasn't the right time, but because it was like, there's time I shouldn't. How can I say it? It wasn't. I wasn't ready for it, or I thought I wasn't ready for it, but actually I probably was ready for it. But
Yeah.
because again, it goes back to mindset, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have to believe and have the confidence that you can do it.
Yeah.
And
That's it. It's
so
true.
I think about some specific instances where I turned something down, or I just didn't see it for myself because I didn't
Yes.
think that I could do it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
or that I was the right person for it. And so fear will do that to you, and fear will have
Yeah.
you thinking that you're making the right choice.
Yeah.
But you when they talk about stepping out on faith,
Oh,
that is
I'm
what they
sorry. Give me
mean.
1 second.
Out on faith.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Girl, I guess I've been sitting too long. I'll be right back.
Okay. We're gonna pause for the cause, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, I'm coming. Here I come. Thank you so much. Sorry about that. But I think I've been sitting too long. Angie, you here?
I'm
Let
here.
me get in here. Okay. How do you get to a place of freedom?
Hmm.
What time is this? 8:32, huh? All right.
You have to be
So,
intentional about it.
yeah.
You really have to be
Yeah.
intentional about
Yes, you do.
what freedom what freedom is like for you, what that feeling is like, and you have to be intentional about taking the steps to feel that freedom every day.
Mm-hmm.
And so, sometimes that we just kind of go out on a limb. Before you left, what I was saying was, that whole stepping out on faith. It's not the
Yes.
absence of fear. You don't wait until you're no longer scared to try something. You do it even though you are scared and may even be
Yeah.
terrified.
Yeah.
But you do it because the risk is worth or I should say the end result is worth the risk and the effort that you have
Mm-hmm.
to make.
Yeah.
And so being intentional about getting to that place, sometimes you just have to say, F it, I'm going for it, and let the chips fall where they may. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happens, when you make a big move. Because there's so many times when people can say, well, I would do this when I'm ready, or I'm not
Yeah.
ready yet. But shoot, sometimes ready comes in the blink of an eye. You're
Yeah.
not ready. You're not ready today,
They say stay
but
ready.
something happened. Right, something
Yeah.
happens 20 minutes later, and you're like, oh, I'm ready now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So and sometimes that's all it takes for you to get ready is something that pushes you a little bit further over the edge.
Hmm.
The thing about it though is um, you have to be willing to take whatever consequences there are and work
Yeah.
through them.
Yes.
So that for me, that's how you have to get to a place of freedom. You have to be intentional about it. You got to be consistent about it, and you have to be willing to work through whatever consequences
Whatever.
come as a result.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
not willing to take accountability and work and deal with those consequences, you're not ever going to be free.
That's right. Come on. That's right.
Because there's a price, everybody said there's a price to be paid for freedom,
Yeah.
and it doesn't
It doesn't
mean
come.
that
Yeah.
that price is the same for everybody, or that price is what somebody else thinks the price is.
Hmm.
Um, you got to know what price you're willing to
Hey,
pay for that freedom.
that's true. That's so true.
So
I agree 100%. And so that's some things that I'm going through. So I have to deal with prioritizing myself and what it is that I want and go for it. You
mhm,
know, I made some decisions here this week, just yesterday. And, I just got to put my best foot forward. That's all. You got to
absolutely.
continue to be encouraged because I ain't get this far. I haven't gotten this far just to say, hey, that's it. I give up or that's it. It's not going to happen for me. Or for you
Right.
to be negative, because we go back into that. And I want to be free mentally. I don't want to be stressed. I don't do well with stress. And I want that peace. And I need to do what I need to do. So each day, and I'm not saying it's going to be easy for
Absolutely.
me, Angie. I'm not saying that. And if I got to cry, if I got to shout, whatever it is, it's just one day at a time. That's all.
Hmm.
Because it's on the other side for me. I already know. It's some good and very good on the other side. You know, I want to travel and go here,
I
but
absolutely
going
know.
out the country, when I want to do some things, and so yeah, you have to prepare, you have to plan, you have to give some up to get some, and that's where I'm at.
That is the truth.
You got to
That
give
is the
some up to
truth.
get some. It ain't gonna be what you want. So, are you willing to give it up? Yes, ma'am.
Well,
So,
and that leads us to what we can do from today. Are we willing to give it up? Give up
well,
whatever
he
we.
said, I'm sorry to cut you off. He said it's telling him
Hmm.
to switch to the modern browser. So, let me go to my settings.
Oh, it's telling him to switch to a different browser.
Uh huh.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So what can you do from today? I started creating the journals on Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
so
you do
looking
have some journals.
publish to see how that goes. Um,
What are your journals? Again, can you tell us what they are?
well, they're writing journals. One is a compilation of scriptures focused on joy. So really, I'm going to start a series and have a series of journals focusing on different aspects of life, joy, love, gratitude, that sort of thing. But the first one is focusing on joy, and these are writing journals that I hope people will find inspirational and The second one, excuse me, the second one is a little more intense. It is a journal, a writing journal still, but within the journal are original works of poetry.
Yeah.
So I'm not really a poet. I don't consider, well, I guess I
You
am.
never
I
know
don't
it. You
consider
know
myself
what they
a
say.
poet.
You a poet, didn't even know it.
Right.
Yeah.
I've written down through the years,
Yeah. But I
but it's
think
like
you
it,
are because I saw that.
it
You
comes
are
and
because you
goes.
don't even know. Yeah. You a poet and didn't even know it.
I've written some haiku, and it is not traditional haiku in that the traditional Japanese, well, in traditional haiku, it basically deals with nature.
Uh-huh.
And so my haiku has more modern themes. I deal a lot with nature, but I deal with everything. And so interspersed in the writing journal are original haiku to inspire people to be creative, come up with their own things, create, let their creative juices flow. But whatever they would use a journal for, my hope is that they would be inspirational.
Yeah, for sure.
I have another one in the works. It's really, it's just a blank journal. It might have some things in it, but that's where I'm starting
Yeah.
with these journals, and seeing just where I can go with it and how far I can go
Yes.
with it. And so at some point though, I want to create a book of poetry
Yeah.
once I have compiled enough substance
Yeah. Yeah.
to have a complete book. So that's what I'm really working on now, having enough content for a full poetry book. So, but right now they're listed on
So,
Amazon,
yeah.
and one is the Haiku Journal, and one is Joy. And so I will have the links, I'm sure, if not in the description, somewhere in the chat that is available for people to look at. I would appreciate it if anybody who would purchase them, and then provide a review of them,
Mm-hmm.
so that I can improve and get better. So that's what I'm doing. I'm also
Okay.
working to be more consistent with my Instagram page or Instagram channel. See, I don't even say the right thing. Instagram channel.
It's okay.
Before last week, or probably before a couple of days ago, I hadn't been on Instagram to
Oh,
post
girl.
anything probably
Yeah.
since December or January. Maybe I did say Happy New Year's, and that was probably the
Yeah.
last time because I'm just not on it that
I
much.
know. I know. Neither am
So
I.
I'm trying to get with the program. I really am trying to get with the program because I do believe that we need to have greater representation of women over a certain age. This whole, and I've always kind of felt this way. Um
Yeah.
I've never, I don't ever
Yeah.
remember
That's true.
thinking that
Yeah.
somebody was just old
See?
because they
Yeah.
reached 40.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I remember having conversations when I was, in my 20s. I was like, that's not old. And
Yeah.
even, so I think about my mother. She really didn't start getting old until she became
Yeah.
ill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and so, it's just one of those things. We have been around older people our entire lives,
Yes,
and
man.
they were older, but they didn't seem like, oh, there were very few
Yeah.
who were old and decrepit. I think of Aunt Rich and Uncle Bill,
Right.
and even crazy cousin Estelle.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many that they were
Yeah.
just always doing stuff, and so that's what I know. That's what we know. And so
Mm-hmm.
I think I think of having more representation of people who feel like you don't have to be. Here's the thing. We either have these categories where, people think you're old or people think you're exceptional. So we look at people who like Angela Bassett
Yeah.
or Tina Turner, people in
Yeah.
the entertainment industry as exceptional.
Uh-huh.
But there are a lot of people who are just regular people who are not quote unquote exceptional people who are doing great things and living great
Yeah.
lives and who are not
Yeah.
old. And
That's
so we
right.
need to normalize that and
That's right.
not make it so exceptional, but just make it, real life, real women who are just living their best lives. And, they're
Unapologetically.
not, they don't
Yeah.
unapologetically, right. And they do whatever the freak they want to do. And we have to set the example because we are the ones that have to say when somebody says, oh, she shouldn't wear that. Why can't she wear it? I might not want to wear it, but she definitely can wear whatever the heck she wants to wear because she can.
Yeah, she
And
can
so
do it, but
we
it's my thing with that too. You say that I always say within taste. You hear what I'm saying? That
well
you can't get. I don't. It depends on how
well
you
even
look at it though, because how you in taste, it's got to flow to me. It's got to be presentable. You just can't wear anything. Say you have something on and you got your tush out and all of this stuff, and I don't know. I mean, but to each his own. Depends on where you're going and what it's called for. But I just say
I agree, but
within
within taste.
reason.
But what I'm saying is
Go too far now.
making a distinction between somebody who could making a distinction about you can wear this or you can't wear that simply because you're over a
Yeah,
certain age. If it looks
yeah,
good, wear it.
yeah. If you can wear it, that's fine. If you can wear it.
So that's but so often like even like hairstyles and hair colors. An older woman can't wear purple hair. Where I've seen some old ladies who rock that purple hair,
Okay. Yeah,
and it's not your grandma's blue and purple
yeah, yeah.
from the 1950s. That purple and blue rinse.
Uh-huh.
Mm-mm, it ain't the same thing.
It's different. Yeah.
So I say,
A lot of
we
mm-hmm.
just have to go for it.
Yeah, you
So
got
what
to
we can
be
do
happy and live
is
your best life.
continue to continue to be a champion, continue to challenge people who say that you can't do this or you can't do that because of a certain age. Um, like when I challenge you about this computer stuff, I'm like,
Yeah.
these young people don't, half these people ain't working. All they do is go to
Yeah.
school. If they do that, they're on the
Yeah.
computer 24/7. They
They
better know.
are.
They better know it backwards and forwards because they're on it
Yeah.
24/7.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you were on it 24/7, guess what? You know it backwards and forwards too, because there are a lot of
That's
people.
true.
There are a lot of older people who do. So, anywho,
That's true.
we just have to be
And I
more.
am. I'm gonna make my presence more on here, to kind of advertise, from this day forward. I just need to set a day and set a time aside, to kind of just put myself out there. Um, it's something I've been wanting to do. You
Absolutely.
know, it's just time, you know. And we'll have similar conversations to this, tranquility for you, as well as me showing some of the things that I
Yes.
do when in my downtime. Um, just building and working on my wigs, and I do those
Hmm.
planters. I do things in my moments that I need my peace and my quiet. That I enjoy doing. So I'm gonna start
Yes.
advertising those, and then speaking to those and talking to my people, whoever that may be, white, black, blue, brown, and green. If you want to talk, we can talk.
Hmm.
I don't discriminate, but if it's for you, it's for you. I'm coming from a good
Right.
place.
Right. Right.
That's all. It's just like, hey, you have the ear to hear, then it's for you. If it's not, then you move around.
Hmm.
That's all. You just
Move
have to.
on. Right.
That's all.
I think
So well, yeah, I'm here just to continue to lift
the
us up.
biggest thing we can do, the biggest thing we can do is lead with love for ourselves and for other people. And when we're looking for, when we're looking at other people with love, it's only going to make it better.
Yeah.
Um,
Ooh, girl.
so, like you said, they either accept it or they don't.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have anything else? That was it.
Girl, you
That was
find
the
it.
last
I'm up
one.
here
So,
yarning.
what?
See, I go to bed early. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm up here yarning. That's how I know. Well, I'll be up early too. And it'd be like, okay,
So
time to
yeah.
put it down. I remember I
hmm
used to just kick it and be hanging and all up all night. Baby back. So, I
Girl,
enjoy
please.
my
And it's
sleep and my peace and quiet. Yes, I do.
hmm well, I will be sleep. I'll sleep in tomorrow. Maybe not. I don't know. But join us next week for our next life lessons chat,
Yeah.
Tuesday the 25th, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock
Intro.
Central.
Yes.
Don't forget to like, share,
And
and
subscribe.
subscribe, and tell us what your contact information is again.
For
So
me,
find you. Uh huh.
yes. Tranquility for you. I'm on. Girl, I got to give you my social media platforms. Ain't that something? Actually, I actually want to do
Um,
my own YouTube, but I do have. Let's see here. It's Tranquility for You 80/20. Let me just double check that, guys. I need to make sure.
that's on YouTube.
That is my YouTube channel, but let me double check it for you. I don't want to misinform you because I hadn't been on here in a while. And so, with that being said, yes, Tranquility for You. You'll see Tranquility for You. That's 8/20. That's on YouTube. I'm
Eight.
going to start actually, guys. I'm going to be doing some airtime on there as well as I'm working on some what they call them, the reels and stuff on
Mm-hmm.
Instagram. And so as time go forward, I'll just give more information, but stay tuned. That
Okay.
is my handle, as they would say. That's my Tranquility for You 820. And that's, you can spell it
Did
out.
you?
You need to go to YouTube. You can spell it out and you see some things. I love music, so I got a lot of my music things on there. But I'm also going to be speaking and invite Angie to my and anyone else who would like to get on and we just have a conversation and talk about what's going on, life events, how you feel. And sometimes you do have to talk things out and get a better understanding
Mm-hmm.
with people, whatever it may be, and not be ashamed. We have to get over that being ashamed of sharing what we know, or
Absolutely.
sharing just to help
Absolutely.
somebody, and that's real. Angie, I want to thank you for
Absolutely.
having me. I was trying to invite some people in, but maybe next week they will come on in.